Who is going to win the 2013 NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship? Well, I'm about to tell you. Welcome to this week's edition of my NASCAR show. I'm standing up and standing in a completely different backdrop because I figured I need something to not get me super distracted. And yeah, I feel like I should have been standing up this whole time I did this show. I'd be a lot more energetic, more interesting to talk to. I wouldn't just be kind of like sitting on a chair and bored. So that's why I'm standing up. That and my room's all screwed up, so I don't have a room. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I am going to be telling you guys I'm setting up the season finale at Homestead-Miami Speedway, which is this Sunday afternoon. Unless, of course, it rains. But I don't know why you brought that up. That's not going to happen, I hope. But if you already know, which you should if you're a consistent NASCAR fan, Jimmie Johnson has a 28-point lead over Matt Kenseth. Kevin Harvick is third. He's only 34 points back. He's 6 back of Kenseth. So it's basically, it's Jimmie's race championship to lose, basically. He needs to finish 23rd or better to win the championship. And it's hard, unless he has a DNF, I think it's going to be very tough for Kenseth or Harvick to go anywhere and beat him. Now, to be fair, Johnson has DNF'd each of the last 2 races. At Homestead in the last couple of years. So maybe 3 in a row is in order. That's what Kenseth and Harvick fans are hoping for, because other than that, it looks pretty bleak. It looks like old 5 times about to become old 6 time. And I don't know if I'd be happy about that. I'm not happy about that. I mean, I don't really like Jimmie Johnson that much. I respect Jimmie Johnson. I don't like Chad Knaus for reasons I could spend hours talking about. I don't like Chad Knaus. That's my main problem with it. Jimmie, don't really have a problem with Jimmie at all. I just don't like Chad Knaus, and I hate the fact that they win so much. And yeah, okay, that's me being jealous and everything. You're just mad because he's better than everybody else. Yeah, well, I hate the Los Angeles Lakers too, and that's more because of Kobe Bryant. But at the same time, they're good, and I'm not jealous of them. I just hate the Lakers. I mean, right now, I'd rather be a Rockets fan like I am than I'd rather be a Lakers fan. Whatever. But that's a completely different show, if I ever did a show like that, which I probably won't ever do. But before I completely get super off topic, which I feel like I already kind of have, I'm going to be answering a handful of your questions. These are in no particular order. The new comments thing with Google Plus and everything on YouTube is a piece of crap, in my opinion. At least so far it is. I mean, I'm totally lost with everything. I don't understand. If it's not broken, why would you bother fixing it? I mean, YouTube was just fine before. But hopefully Bob, the little stick figure dude that everyone's been like posting and copying and pasting all over YouTube, maybe we'll get it changed back. I don't know if you've seen that, the little stick figure guy. I don't know, that's just funny. Every video I look at has that. First question, I just kind of answered it, was from Austin McLean. It says, why do you not like Jimmie Johnson? I just answered it. Well, I didn't really answer it. Well, I don't not like Jimmie Johnson. I don't like that he wins so much. It gets boring for me being a NASCAR fan. I'm tired of watching Jimmie win. But I do not like Chad Knaus. I told you I could go into detail. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But my main problem is with Chad Knaus more than Jimmie Johnson. Where was that other question? Question. Oh yeah. From Dr. Savitsky X, what do you think about Trevor Bayne getting MS? Personally, I was hoping he would succeed and fight for championships in a few years down the road. Yeah. If you missed it this week, Trevor Bayne was diagnosed with MS. It came out Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. It was a pretty big deal, but apparently in a release, this is all I know about it, he has said that he will continue to race full-time nationwide next year like he's been doing this year. And, of course, with his handful of cup races he does in the 21. So, in that respect, not a lot changes here for Trevor Bayne, but that's definitely interesting, and I feel bad for them. So let me look for some other questions. Hold on. On my last video, a couple videos ago, the one I did last week, I got a lot of people that were posting their picks for next year, and at the time I was sitting there like, come on guys, we still got this year, it's still not finished yet. But now at this point, with Jimmie has as big a lead as he does, it probably is finished. So I found some that were interesting. A couple guys, Gaming Ninja 07, who I know is a Kyle Busch fan, I don't know if you knew that. He picked Kyle Busch to win the championship. I found that kind of funny. Where's another funny one? Anita Malone picked Harvick to win the championship next year. That's an interesting pick. because Harvick is going to that new team, so that'll be interesting. Here's a question, kind of a lame question, no offense, but ESB the Racer asks, do you think Jeff Gordon will win at Homestead-Miami Speedway like last year? Sure. Doesn't matter. Jimmie Johnson's going to win the championship. I don't care who wins this race. I just know that Jimmie Johnson's probably going to win the championship unless he wrecks. And so yeah, Jeff Gordon, I'll give him a decent shot, better than most people. I'm still scrolling through. I see people picking Kenseth to win the championship. People picking Casey Kane. People. Oh, here's a good one from Best Jimbo. Do you think Denny Hamlin will make the chase next year or continue his horrible slump? Horrible would be putting it lightly. He had another problem last week at Phoenix. I swear, it's been a completely different season for Denny Hamlin. I don't even know. I know the back injury definitely has something to do with it, but by now I feel like he's healed, at least 90% healed from it, and I can't imagine that's messing him up that much in the car. So at this point, I just feel like they're just bad. Just straight up bad. That team is just bad. Part of me thinks that Joe Gibbs Racing, since they have both Matt Kenseth and Kyle Busch in the chase, they're testing equipment right now on Denny Hamlin's car, which is causing failures and causing things to not go right. They're testing stuff on his car that they can put towards their 2 championship contenders. I think he'll definitely get better next year. I think he will make the chase. I don't think he'll be a title favorite. He could still, but I think he'll make the chase. Maybe he'll probably win 2 or 3 races next year. That'd be my guess, just because that's kind of what Denny Hamlin does. Because next year, when it's a fresh season, they're not going to be testing stuff on his car. They're not going to use him as the guinea pig. There's a stretch a couple years ago, I don't really know about now, but there's a stretch where I feel like Hendrick Motorsports did a similar thing with Dale Earnhardt Jr. They just kind of used his car since he wasn't quite as competitive as Jimmie Johnson or Jeff Gordon. I feel like they tested things on his car and kind of it cost him some finishes in there here and there. I felt like he had races where, or he had times where it felt like he could have won and it had failures and things like that. And I think a large part of that has contributed to the fact that Hendrick Motorsports used him kind of as a test dummy. Roush Fenway Racing, I think a couple years ago, was doing that with Greg Biffle, and that was, or they did it with Greg Biffle, and last year, a couple years ago, they did it with David Reagan back when he was driving the 6 car, and that, I just feel like that's kind of what they did. So yeah, I think Hamlin will get better for sure. From Vogel Elliott, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Who's going to be the top chase contenders for next year? Well, I don't really like looking forward to next year already when we still have, of course, 1 more race to go. But if I had to look forward to next year, I would pick Jimmie Johnson, be up there, obviously. He's up there every year. I would pick Tony Stewart, actually. I think will make a good comeback. I think with that team being rejuvenated, they'll have Harvick coming in there, Kurt Busch. I feel like that team's going to be a lot more of a superpower. And I think Tony Stewart's definitely the leader of that group still, even with Harvick and Busch showing up. So I think Stewart will be a top 5 contender. Matt Kenseth will definitely be a contender again next year. I think Kyle Busch can do it again. I think Kyle Busch will be really good. Brad Keselowski might make a little bit of a rebound, but I looked to Carl Edwards and especially the Roush Fenway Racing team to just really make a comeback next year. They've been crap this year. I'll be honest, guys. I mean, I was rooting for. I like Roush Fenway. I still do. Biffle and Edwards are still a couple of my favorite drivers. I want to see them succeed, but oh my goodness, they made the chase. Edwards ran well during the regular season. He's still run okay, but he's 13th in points. He's not run okay, actually. He's run okay, but he's not had the finishes to show for it, like running out of fuel this last week at Phoenix. But you just look at guys like Greg Biffle and even Ricky Stenhouse, but he's a rookie, so I'll cut him some slack. They're having too many races where they just sit back and run 25th the whole time, and that's where they finish. It's like if you're a chase contender like at least Biffle and Edwards seem to be, you don't want to be. You're not supposed to be the guy running back in 25th place. That's what happened to Matt Kenseth last week, and that's why right now we're not talking about him winning the championship so much as we are Jimmie Johnson. Because if you're a chase contender and also a championship contender, you can't run 25th place and expect to do well. You're not going to succeed because Roush Fenway, they only have 3 wins this year, and I know the last couple of years they always have at least 5, 6, 7. A large part of that is because Matt Kenseth was so good, and Carl Edwards has been more dominant in the past, but this year they only got 3 wins, and that's low for Roush Fenway. You look at guys like Joe Gibbs, who have like 12 wins, and Hendrick, who's probably also, I don't know how many they have. They have like 8 or 9 too. I mean, you look at these guys, like, you look at Roush Fenway saying, well, where are you? I think the Fords definitely got behind with their packages from last year with the Gen 6 race car coming in. Just obviously from the start, it felt like they weren't quite up to snuff with especially the Toyotas and the Chevys, which we saw out there dominating races and winning. So I forgot what the question was already. It was who's my top contenders? I think Edwards will make a comeback, and he'll definitely be a contender as well. Other notables, guys like Kurt Busch, maybe not. He's with a big team again, so maybe he can succeed. Brad Keselowski, I think he's going to make a good rebound, like I said. Casey Kane, he'll be good, as always. I see a lot of people brought up Jamie McMurray's name recently after his win at Talladega a few weeks ago. Jamie McMurray, I don't think he's a chase contender. Definitely not a championship contender. I'll give him a 30 to 40% chance of making the chase next year. I'll bet he'll run like 16th in points. If he gets a win or two, then boom, he'll be in. But if he doesn't, no, probably not. Let's see. I'm gonna look for at least one more decent question. Well, here's a question from Gustavo Saboya Fontella. When is Dex Season 3? About 6 months ago. Season 4, I'm going to go and wrap this episode up now. That was a good segue, I guess. Season 4 will be beginning sometime between November 18th and 22nd. That's between next Monday and Friday, just after this weekend. So look forward to that. I will be posting signs sometime between that, sometime during the week next week. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm just going to tell you right now. It will be up some random time. Could be up at midnight for all I know. It won't. I'll tell you right now. It probably won't be up midnight. At least not America midnight. If you live in Australia, I don't know your time zones, but but in America it will probably be sometime in the afternoon or maybe in the morning or sometime during the day next week. So look forward to that. A couple other updates. I'm going to make a separate video for this next week after the Sprint Cup season's over. But I just want to make some clarifications. I will have 28 cars available in my signups because I have the Kurt Busch car on order. Should be here in a few days. He won't be there for race 1, though. Race 1 will not have Kurt Busch, so sorry about that. The other big thing is that Season 4 will only be 8 races. I'm cutting it 2 races short because I want to get it done with, hopefully by March or April next year, so that when I usually go to Texas Motor Speedway in April, and then I order all the cars, and that's about when they all show up. I can get most of the other cars in April, and that's when I can start Season 5. So I want to, if I do the full 10 races here with school and everything, it'd be a lot more stress on me and trying to get them done. So I'm going to only limit it to 8 races. I hope you don't kill me for that, because it will be very fun. Not the killing, the season will be fun, so I think you'll still enjoy it. And if you don't get a car, which is a very good chance you won't, because I have over 4,000 subscribers and only 28 cars, please don't hate me. Understand, I'm doing the best I can do. I mean, I don't have $5 bajillion I can just whip out of my butt and go buy 200 cars. They partially don't sell that many cars, but I can't get everyone whatever they want. So I hope even if you don't get in the series, you'll support my videos, because I cannot make these or anything. I would not have the money or the time or even the patience to make these types of videos if it wasn't for you people watching and supporting my videos, and I really appreciate that. So this is my last midweek installment of my NASCAR racing series. I hope you enjoyed the last 10 or 11 weeks I've done now, and I'm still going to make one more review on Monday, reviewing the final championship race, and we'll be celebrating probably the 48, maybe the 20, or possibly the 29 car on Monday. So I'll see you guys then, but oh my goodness, what's this?